Ladies and gentlemen, now welcome into the Semi-Perfect Podcast. Apologies for the issues we were having. Good news is if you're watching this on delay, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But welcome in. We had a couple of audio issues. For some reason, it was very loud for you, and actually the bigger problem was quiet for everyone else. Yeah. So. Yes, but now we are podcasting. Welcome in our producer, Sarah.
Hi, I'm not doing a good job.
We got Hirosashii.
Hello.
Sarah, people can hear us right now. You're doing an amazing job.
We have PaleoSteno.
Hello.
And in all of his glory, we have Matt.
How the heck am I supposed to live up to all of his glory?
PanamaMatt.
I got a theme song now, too.
So one thing that we were discussing, as some of you may have heard, is since we started the Semi-Perfect Podcast, we've done it on... No, you have too many O's.
Thanks.
SPP.
You can just ignore that and not embarrass me on air.
Nope, that's my job. So...
on air and on recording for all to see from here.
Are you recording?
Yes, I'm recording.
Good
I
girl.
hope we are.
So,
otherwise, anyone that comes in right now is going to be very confused.
Yeah. So anyone that has been with us has known that the Semi-Perfect Podcast. We've been on Toodles Twitch. In fact, I don't think it started on this Twitch. I think it started on Saber's Twitch. Yeah. And we very quickly gave up on him. Anyways,
He's not even here.
Wow.
Well,
We just pulled the plug.
he handed it over to me.
He handed the plug over to you? Oh my god.
And what did you do with it?
Wait, what?
The plug.
Oh, yeah, I pulled it.
so yes. Anyways, we're right now heavily considering moving the show over to probably my YouTube channel. It won't change as far as when we do it. It would just change as far as where it's happening. Just to I know that Paleo, you made that move with your podcast, and it seems to have been going well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're thinking about doing that. Everyone's ranting Sarah. If there's,
I'm abusing the chat.
Oh,
Don't mind me.
but I am curious if there's in the chat right now, our live chat, is there anybody who does that sound like a good idea to our audience moving to YouTube, or does it sound like for any reason a bad idea? Either way, we're probably gonna do it, but I'm just curious to see what the people think, or if you don't care one way or another, just be like,
What does
whatever.
the public think? What is the public opinion?
So yeah, so that's something that we're thinking about doing again. Yeah, we're thinking about moving it over. So I see some people asking, well, where's Saber Spark? Saber is right now somewhere. Not here, but he is at a get together this weekend, which will revolve around a wedding. So I believe one of Laura's family members is getting married. So they're both out of town right now. They might be able to pop in. And, yeah. So, what? What does that even mean, Sarah?
I don't know. Someone in the chat just said, I use background audio on Twitch. YouTube charges for that, so I prefer Twitch. Thank you, Virus and Threat Protection. Thank you for your notification.
I hope can they hear that?
Yeah, they can hear that.
Oh, good. Good.
I didn't hear
that. Was the fairy.
I know you can't hear it.
That was the magic
but
fairy.
Everybody listening
coming to grant us good internet. And then Gabe is... I'm surprised people even asked where Gabe is.
Gabe's doing something.
He's here sometimes.
Gabe, I talked to him yesterday. He's doing well, and we were having a nice old chat with us chums, but he's hoping that he can hop in as well. Saber and Laura also hoping that they can make an appearance throughout this podcast. So even though we're delayed, it does not mean we love food any less. Sarah, SPP Foods.
No, I scrolled
that's what-
down.
I just broke.
I did it for you. Right there.
I
No,
just.
scroll
I
up
just
a little
fucked
bit.
everything up.
A little bit more.
Oh.
A little bit more. Stop it. Okay, there. Right there.
I feel
Okay.
like a bad friend. And everyone always talks on the phone to each other. Like everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna call blah 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 real quick." I'm like, I never call anyone on the phone. None of my friends,
Same.
at least in this group.
All right. Well, we have. Let's see. David 3X says, "Sorry, can't see the semi-perfect podcast tonight." How dare! But I have some P3 protein pack and a fan art drawing of Shantae.
Shantae.
Shantae, half genie, zero.
Half genie, zero.
Thank you. For the
All right.
Why 0?
Wow.
Oh.
This person's got confidence. I haven't scrolled up to see who it is, but whoever it is has 2 pieces of cheese pizza that is literally sitting on top of their laptop keyboard.
Like,
And that is Nora Mermaid, ladies and gentlemen.
No protection.
It says back to no protection's the best protection.
No.
Back to school and back to my fave, cheese pizza alone. God, I'm so lonely, says Nora. Well, okay, so you love cheese pizza, and so does Macaulay Culkin's character in Home Alone. So a fantastic cheese pizza just for you.
Did you like that post?
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not.
Like it.
I'm not used to this pressure. Hirosashii
Oh.
says tried. Well, do you want to read it?
Tried
Hiro?
making. Oh, do you want to read your own post, Hira?
What? No.
Okay.
Tried
Tried making sushi for the first time. The presentation is a little whack, but I was pleasantly surprised how actually good they tasted. Now I got to do the podcast. Did I do a good Hirosashii impression?
Is that the way you had to do it to make me be like, shit, I should have just read it myself?
I have my ways. Michaela says had to surgically repair with Nutella.
They got like a piece of bread that got split, I guess. So they.
That's how they fix Sarah's toe. Nutella.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun fact. Nikki D says gonna be late for the semi-perfect podcast
Well,
tonight.
that means you're probably
On
time.
Spent some time in Philly with my friend. Here's the food I had: chicken curry with a fried egg. I'm down with that. There's something about egg I like. Peach blossom vodka, and then some bubble tea. Also have a sweet pic of me outside the art museum. Wow, look at that. That's almost art itself, Nikki
That
D.
is a cool pic.
That's a cool museum. It's right next
right
to the
on
water,
the water?
or you're in a flood and you should get to safety.
That egg looking mad good, dude. Like, dang.
That's a nice looking
Like
egg.
the post. Did you like the other one?
Oh my god, Sarah.
Okay, you gotta like all
I didn't
of them.
even. Oh, I should have retweeted Hirosashii's.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
What do we got here, Sarah?
We've got Rosie Diamond says, figured I might as well get some frozen yogurt to have during tonight's semi-perfect pod.
That looks like a mad frozen yogurt.
That looks like it has like chunks of Oreos in it.
That's a good frozen yogurt.
Yep.
Yes.
Like it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You messed up.
You messed up. Okay. No, scroll upwards.
Scroll
okay.
up.
Rexless has.
It's like teaching your grandfather to use the computer.
Rexless says, I have pizza scrolls again, or pizza scones if you prefer, and Pepsi, and yay for Phillies running in circles, because I had a
Jeff.
a-
Jeff.
a-
Say it.
a
Say it like it's
graphics
supposed to be said.
image.
Don't let people scare you into submission. Jeff.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So I wonder if those are frozen and then cooked, or what? Because
Pizza scrolls. I don't think I've ever heard of pizza scrolls.
yeah, those are interesting. Even then, you don't often
They're
see.
like they look like cinnamon rolls, but pizza.
Let's see here. Oh, I did not like the post.
Okay.
I did.
Oh
no,
my gosh,
my
you
God,
keep
you are
clicking
the
wrong
worst.
thing. Okay, there you go.
All right, and then people are gonna start requesting that we do the podcast this way, or they're gonna just leave. Jory says, celebrating my unexpected night off with Domino's Memphis barbecue pizza and Parmesan bites and watching the podcast live once again. Now, whatever this pizza looks like, Jory, I just want to inform you that for us, it was tagged as this media may contain sensitive material.
Is it a sexy pizza?
So, let's see this.
That is a.
Oh my God, that is
that
is
sauce.
lewd.
that is dirty.
That is-
It's sauce.
like, oh my god, cover that up. Whoa. And then the last food post we have is from Railroad Brony. It says, working on my trains tonight during the podcast. Excellent. Eating hot dogs with Monterey Jack cheese,
Yum.
French fries, and lemonade. Now, I don't know if I've ever... I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if I've ever had hot dogs with Monterey Jack cheese.
That is a lot of cheese on that hot dog.
That is the right amount of cheese.
The ratio of hot dog to cheese is 1-to-1.
I'm pretty sure there's much more cheese than there is hot dog on that.
No, I mean like the hot dog plus the bun.
I still don't know.
Okay.
There's a hell of a lot.
I feel like there's 2 hot dogs, and you're saying like this huge amount of cheese, but it's on 2 different hot dogs.
See, if you're into that kind of thing.
Oh, what's the little...
Slacking on liking the post. Okay, there we go.
I'm sorry, I'm bad.
No, that's okay.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, we are... Okay, now we're catching up. We're like Jack Sparrow on Not the Black Pearl, Chasing the Black Pearl. How are you all doing? How are you guys? How's your last 2 weeks been, everyone?
Fun.
Hard as your hoe,
Right.
doing well.
Good. Paleo, what's new?
Let's see. I went to go see Alpha, last weekend.
Oh.
At that movie with the
Dog.
wolf.
The doggy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Nice.
Cool. Did it make you want to have a dog?
Or a wolf.
Would you say it was the alpha and omega of films you've seen this season?
No.
Speaking of great films, Matt, I heard so I've been kind of looking forward to it coming out, and I'm forgetting.
Too?
No, there would be no kind
No,
of
who
looking
wants to
forward
see
to it.
that trash?
No, stop it.
There'd be no
What's that movie? The Muppet movie coming out? The dirty one.
Oh, Happy Time Murders.
Oh, Happy Time Murders.
So
What is even that movie?
apparently,
I don't know.
apparently, see, I'm upset in Sarah.
Their attempt to doing adult humor.
I'm upset with Sarah because
I mean, it worked for Avenue Q.
So this movie right now has a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes, which means
I'm not
Oh,
surprised.
good.
I'm not surprised.
Has it even come out yet?
It comes out this week.
How
Yeah,
does it
this
already
weekend.
have a rating?
Critics.
Well, yeah, critics get preview showings.
they
and
get
stuff.
they get first dibs.
They do, yeah. They'll do this so critics can tell everyone how good the movie is. So then when it comes out, everyone's excited.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the case of Happy Time Murders, they tell everyone to avoid it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with that score.
I want to see that Muppet just do whatever he did in that office, all over that office.
It's just not my kind of humor, and I'm just kind of like, why are you doing this, Jim Henson Company?
Mana.
That is the part
Yeah,
that amazes me.
The thing is, like, with Happy Time Murders, because I was excited about this movie since it seemed like it was going to be something that hadn't really been done before.
Yeah.
But because I think when they saw that Sausage Party did well, because Sausage Party, like, actually got good ratings. And it did really well for an R-rated comedy that was animated, of all things. So I think they were trying to do something similar to that with Happy Time Murders. But the thing is, with Happy Time Murders, that's actually been in development hell for a very long time.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, I'm sure there's some sucking in that movie at some
Actually,
point.
Palo, I gotta ask, why was it in development hell?
It went around like a lot of different directors, like and different writers. So, yeah, I'm not sure, because like when I first saw the images for it and the description of it, it sounded to me like, oh, this sounds like it would be something sort of like Roger Rabbit, maybe. But then I saw, I was like, it's gonna be R-rated. It's like, wait, maybe not. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go see it this weekend now.
One thing I liked about Jim Henson's Muppets is they always had that edge to them while still remaining very sweet and innocent.
Kind of like our Who's Line shows.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Here's line shows are not honest.
If you want, though, if you do want Jim Henson Company adult humor, you should go see the Stuffed and Unstrung show that they do on tour.
Exactly.
We were able to watch it. It's basically Who's Line but with puppets, and it's great.
Is that by the Jim Henson Company?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Which, admittedly, is why I was actually giving this a lot of hope. Now, it could be that all the critics are wrong.
And it could be they're all just reacting based on what we all did when we saw the initial poster. It's like, why?
No, I said, I was like that one Jack Nicholson GIF where he's like slowly nodding his head and smiling as it zooms in on his face. I was like, yes. Yes.
Your chair makes so much noise.
Thank you.
I don't know if anybody hears it, though.
Thank you.
I can hear it. For once, it's not mine doing it.
So, Hiro, anything exciting happened with you in the last 2 weeks?
I bought Hanafuda cards.
Nice.
I bought Monster Hunter World and have played it so much.
He's played like 100 hours.
It's nuts. It's funny because I'm like, I don't really play video games anymore, and then I just like slammed my face into Monster Hunter World and haven't stopped.
Yeah.
And Paleo and Saber and I all finished watching DuckTales.
Yeah.
Caught up. And
Woo-hoo.
dang, that show is so good! That is all.
Nice. Matt, how have you been in the last 6 months?
Doing well.
Yeah. It's been a while
Probably
since you've been
that
on.
long. Just a touch.
We
In a while.
we saw
Yeah.
Matt recently.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's nice to know that I'm still in the splash image that comes with this show. But you know, I went up to Utah, Salt Lake area this last weekend. Saw my girlfriend. Went to a friend's second wedding reception. The parents of the bride wanted to throw a party for the people that couldn't make it up to where the wedding was.
So you went twice.
Yes.
You partied twice.
I think you missed the part about this is for those that missed the first one.
So anyway, since it was part of the bridal party,
Mm-hmm.
I got an invite to it. So yeah, why not?
Nice.
Food.
Saw some friends, saw some
Food.
good
Enemies.
times, good food. Thankfully, no enemies, as far as I'm aware.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, everything else has just been the typical continuous chaos in the good way.
Sarah, what's new with you?
Well, we did cake taste testing.
Yeah.
What kind you going with?
So
It's a surprise.
well, I mean,
You want
Are you really?
everyone to know? No,
yeah,
I'm kidding.
I mean, like, okay, so
All right, no, this
yeah.
is important. You tell them.
Okay. Well, we did Jeffrey's taste testing first because
Who's Jeffrey?
Race's taste testing first.
Stuttles.
Because with our wedding package, it's got a cake already kind of built in, and we have options as far as vendors go, and so we went to the vendor, and they can't do both gluten and dairy free at that location. But that's okay because only like a handful of my guests plus myself are gluten and dairy free. So we're just like, we're going to get our wedding cake to be like the regular big one. And so Race was taste testing and he chose 3 different flavors for the cake because it's a 3-tier cake. Okay, so the bottom was
So starting at the top, all right? Okay. So here are my 3 choices that I went with. All right, we have a nice and smooth. What was the top one?
The top one, I think, was the hazelnut.
Hazelnut chocolate?
Hazelnut marble, chocolate or something like that.
A marble hazelnut mix for your delight. It was good. Yeah. It was the
Nutella
first one.
Cake. I like
so yeah, and then the middle one's gonna be like a lemon raspberry.
Yeah.
And then the bottom tier, and this is the one I'm like super in charge of because this is the one that I'm cutting when Sarah and I do a thing. And when I cut into this cake, there's going to be a caramel creme brulee cake at the bottom.
Yeah. The richest of all.
Yeah.
What? When Sarah and I do the thing, what are you, Varric?
When we cut the cake and exchange bites. I don't know. I will
when
have
I
to
slam
figure out
it
how we
into
do
her
that
face as hard as I can.
No, you're not gonna be able to. So.
Yeah, I will anyways.
So for my cake, I went over to a bakery that specializes in allergens, allergen-free cakes. So their options are like gluten, dairy, like egg, peanut free, whatever. So
They can make a cake with nothing in it.
yeah, it's amazing what they can do. So what I chose for my cake, which is just going to be like a little 6-inch round, is vanilla with vanilla cream icing with marmalade mixed in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds great.
Fucking
That
good.
does sound good.
It's funny too because having watched plenty of Paddington,
Marmalade.
I even asked Sarah at one point. I'm like, "Isn't this marmalade?" And she and I were
Because
like,
the lady said it was like orange
preserves.
and like
And I'm like, "What's marmalade made of, Sarah?" And then
at the end she did say marmalade, and it was like, oh, okay, so I know it's marmalade.
just like Mother used to make. Marmalade.
So yeah, we did cake testing, and then I went to Disneyland with a busted foot. So
Yeah.
Matt and Race got to push me around in a wheelchair, and we got to cut lines, even though we only went on 5 rides that day.
It's funny because I think they've mastered it to where people can't, like, big groups can't take advantage. Because back in the day, Disneyland used to have a problem where a group of 20 people would show up, and they'd be like, "By the way, we have one person who has a sore foot, so they need a wheelchair," and that whole group of 20 would go into the handicap line, to which people that were like legit actually in the wheelchairs were like, "What the hell? Why is there an hour line when the actual line's 20 minutes?" So I think they figured it out. They do the scanning thing. So don't go and try and cheat it. By all means, I always tell people, by the way, that it's less fun. It's less fun to go through the handicap line because that's not the line that's dressed up to, like, Disney has this thing where with their queues they like to start telling a story from the moment that you enter the entrance. So if you're going to Disneyland, you'll miss out on that fun if you go this way. That being said, it was definitely fun to see from this other side of the perspective.
And honestly, walking in some of the exits gives you a renewed appreciation for how well Disney does things. In some instances, you can see how they structure it in such a forced perspective kind of way, and in other instances, it's really impressive how you don't really notice anything like the lighting or, structural decorations.
Yeah. One thing that was really cool was during that day, we decided to go on the Jungle Cruise and ran into a friend of mine that I actually went to college with. And he's the lead on Jungle Cruise and the Indiana Jones ride. So it was cool finally being able to, like, he's been working here for years, and it's about time that we managed to run into him and get his boat and all that stuff. So that was cool. But
and he did a rocking job on it.
Yeah. It
was
was
fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, we went to Disneyland, which also means we got our passes.
Yeah.
So
We spent money.
yay!
Yay!
Yay! Hooray! Hooray!
Well, I think that is our 2 weeks, unless you have other stuff.
I think that was it.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, shall we talk about My Little Pony?
Okay.
Why?
I have an admission to do. I am bad. So Sarah texted me. So one thing that we'll do sometimes is, because I record a lot of stuff on our box, I won't necessarily watch something right when it airs. It's another reason why I always try to avoid spoilers, not just for shows, but also for, since I'm so busy on weekends, I always try to avoid any spoilers for racing or anything. So what happened was the new MLP episode this last weekend has been on our box, and Sarah's been texting me like, "You haven't watched it yet," and she was texting me this today, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh crap, the podcast is today." I booked it out of work and I did watch it, but I found out.
One of them.
Yeah, I found out that there's one that our box didn't record.
Yeah, for some reason.
Awesome.
I don't know.
And so I both have you seen it or did we both?
I've seen it.
Well, what we're gonna do for anyone that's new, we're gonna put up a spoiler screen here.
We don't have that on this computer.
Then put up a picture of the cheese cheese hot dog.
Okay, I'll save that image.
The cheese hot dog.
One.
You're gonna see what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, from the food post earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first episode we're talking about is the
Friendship University.
Friendship University. So basically, yeah.
There's another university.
Yeah.
That is being operated for friendship that has the Oswald bearded, and apparently Flim and Flam come back.
Yeah.
Hero,
So
you were
Flim
saying.
and Flam.
I was just saying I don't like Flim. I don't like him one bit. And also, this episode had a whack kind of moral.
What
Yeah.
was the moral?
To me, what it kind of ended up being was like, hey, judge people, even like if they say they turn over a new leaf, just judge them harshly.
Yeah.
And then when you're right, you'll be satisfied. And it's like, what? This is terrible. Like maybe they turned over a new leaf.
Mhm.
And Twilight's like, no, let me just be super judgmental. Oh, look, I was right. Guess I should always be judgmental of the things that I expect I should.
Yeah,
be
it's really
judgmental
weird.
about.
Because
Trust
like
but
it
verify.
goes really hard at making Twilight feel bad. Like, well, it tries to make her feel bad to assume the worst of people, especially when, you know, I mean, they have a past of being shitty people. But like, yeah, they were, it seemed like they were really driving it home that, hey, Flim and Flam actually have turned over a new leaf. But no, they're actually jerks, so Twilight was right, and this whole episode means nothing. I don't know.
Judge people until you're right, kids.
Well, I mean, yeah. Right?
Is that what lawyers do?
Not, well, that's what juries do.
No, that's what juries do. Okay.
Not my job.
I mean, aren't we all judgmental?
Yep.
Well, that was easy.
The answer is yes.
And like Star Swirl was extreme. Well, like I don't know. He seemed very different in this
He's like an
episode.
idiot.
Yeah. He like prided himself on being intelligent, and then he's like, "Oh, these fellows seem like fine chaps."
So you'll have to pardon me. I've missed a couple of episodes in between. Star Wars alive?
Yeah.
Where? What, did he come back in this episode, or did I miss
No,
it?
the season 7 finale.
Oh.
Yeah, Matt. Gosh.
There's a reason I'm not doing Brony's reacts. Actually, there are several. But anyway.
Alright, so the next episode I'll bring Race It back in for this, so hold on one sec. Yo, babe!
Are you the big
Okay.
spoon?
That was
Come
Southern. Boy.
Come back. We're gonna talk about the episode that you've seen.
So did people like the other one?
I mean,
No.
she probably is here.
Well, don't tell me if they do.
I like the rarity. I like rarity.
Wait, why is this on my seat now?
I like that whoever
this
animated
over
this
here?
episode
Was I not paying
nailed
attention?
craft herpes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Glitter was everywhere.
No effing way.
Okay, so you know what's funny, babe, is that when I switched over the screen, I forgot to put all the audio stuff, so like nobody was hearing anything for a while, and then I fixed it.
What?
Nothing. Okay.
I'm confused.
All right. So the next episode.
What do you?
About,
So you mean like you actually?
I didn't have these in here. Okay. So the next episode is called "The End in Friend." In this episode, Rarity and Rainbow Dash begin to question why they are friends when they can't find anything they both like to do together.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah, that one.
I don't.
Best
Why did
episode
Twilight-
ever.
Is Twilight really friends with them? I feel like she makes some really dumb decisions.
I don't know.
The
Like,
script called for it. What can you
it's-
say?
I feel like there's been this trend whenever it focuses on like the kids learning at the school that they have to have teachers that are not currently getting along, and I'm like, this just makes y'all seem really incompetent to be teaching at this school.
Right.
Like,
Hey, you know what they say? Those that can't do, teach.
I hope
I
there are
just-
teachers in the audience.
I don't
My
understand.
apologies to everybody.
I don't understand why the focus is on the friendship problem with the teachers when they could be focusing on the students. Like, they introduced these characters, might as well fucking use them.
Right, instead of having them write down in books all the time.
This felt like a season 1 episode.
Yeah.
In the good way or the bad way?
The bad way, I would say.
Where two characters are like bitches at each other for no reason.
No, that was more. What season was it? Where every episode was literally the show taking a shit on a character.
Probably
Three?
the third.
It might have been 3
I think it
or
was 3.
4, but like every episode was all right. Well, who sucks this time? And the one time Applejack finally got her episode, she was like,
I was right the whole time.
"Screw y'all!
I didn't learn a thing.
I'm the best pony.
I didn't learn anything."
I just like this. I was saying, like, if you're gonna put two people that are opposites but actually can get along, you've seen it happen. Just Rarity and Applejack. Like, obviously they're incredibly different. And they respect each other's differences and get along. Rainbow Dash is a jerk. Why would you?
You're like,
Why?
well, why are
Wow.
any of you friends with Rainbow Dash?
Wow. Because
Ooh, Rich Roll said season 8's turning out to be like season 6.
I disagree with that
Dang.
entirely.
That is a summer criticism.
That's a little extreme, I think.
I mean, if it continues this way, maybe.
I didn't think the episode was that bad.
It
What-
was.
what was-
It was just. It wasn't great.
It was like I just watched it, so
Yeah.
I have the best opinion of everyone because it's fresh.
It's only because you like Rainbow Dash.
Wow, say that to my face.
I will.
You have actually, but no, it like I don't know. Maybe I am more forgiving of Rainbow Dash, but I mean, let's face it. Like, it's Rainbow Dash wasn't a problem in this episode.
Well, they were both.
No.
They were both.
Rarity is the worst.
No.
So
They were
See,
both the
they're
problem
both
in
the
this
worst.
episode. They were both being.
I actually there were
Unwarranted.
moments.
Hyperbolically bitchy.
Yeah.
there were moments that I
Well-
actually really enjoyed from both of them in this episode. I'm not saying it was great, but it was such a slice of life type episode, kind of, and then it wasn't, but it started that way.
Yeah.
But
Also,
I gotta
what's-
ask, what is wrong with friends not enjoying absolutely everything that the other one likes? Can't we have some difference? Can't we
There's
have
nothing
some
wrong with
difference?
that, but
I
they were
thought-
just trying to teach that lesson, and they chose the two worst ponies to go together ever.
Oh.
Twilight's an
Oh, they're
idiot
fine.
Sometimes.
Well,
They're
I'll
fine together.
admit I'm not.
like, I guess Matt, to like kind of go off of your question, is that they've already,
But didn't they
done
make
this,
that point?
They've already done this thing, and like
With
they're kind
Applejack and
of now they're
Dash.
kind of like erasing it and then putting it back. It's just it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like repeating it. I don't know.
I feel like they already did this episode with Applejack and Rainbow Dash. Like, this episode literally already occurred.
Yeah, but in that one they like
They didn't
in
have
the
students.
episode kissing, so it's different.
Huh? What? No, they did have students. This was earlier in season 8.
And they
Students watching
made out.
Applejack and Rainbow Dash, and they
And I-
made out.
I don't think we're saying that people should not have.
Well, they
differences.
made that point.
Yeah.
They literally make that point in the episode, saying like, oh no, it's good that we don't like
Yeah.
the same thing because that'd be boring.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know what the.
But I do love-
inference of that question was whether we were saying that. Oh no, they need to like be on the same wavelength.
No, here's
Okay.
here's what I
No,
love.
the real reason they're friends with each other is because they're in the same shitty town with only.
here's the like I loved that somebody literally pointed out, like one
Friends
of the
by proxy.
students pointed out, they're like, wow, like you guys shouldn't even like what makes you friends, and Rainbow Dash and Rarity were like, oh, I don't know.
I mean, okay, so
mean, we
legitimately,
just kind of are.
my counterpoint to that is if somebody asked me, like, hey, why are you friends with your friends? I'd be like, I don't know, man. It just kind of clicks. Like,
Yeah, I
fun to
haven't
talk to.
punched them in the
Aw.
face.
Friends
I
with
guess-
benefits.
I guess we like Disney, and that's about it, boy. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just they're fun to be around.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yep.
is Disney.
They provide a different perspective on life.
So
and I
if
enjoy learning from that perspective.
if Ponyville had the Disney Channel, they would not have these friendship issues, is what we're all deciding here, right? Like,
But they would have Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
I want to imagine a pony watching the Proud Family. It just seems so off somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I totally see
Weren't-
Pinkie Pie being into that.
Weren't Rainbow Dash and like Rarity doing okay until like Twilight was like, "Hey, by the way, you're gonna be an example for my kids today. They're gonna watch your every move." I wonder
then
if
they're
like
like, oh.
sometimes
How
the
awkward.
pressure of having people watch them like maybe makes them like
Can we
a little bit.
can we like also talk about the fact that Twilight literally was like, "Hey, I need you to do something for me," to both of them, to which they both walk in and they're like, "Wait, so why'd you have us come in?" And
I'm
Twilight
gonna completely ruin this day that you set aside specifically for each other for you to be an example for my students.
And I'm gonna make this point that look how good of friends they are. They literally stopped their plans that they've made so I can make an example out of them about how they stopped their plans for me. It's like, wow, you
Not only
dictator.
Made
Jesus.
them interrupt both their plans without telling them that they'd be spending the day together anyway. You just yank them away.
Oh man, don't do it.
I'm not clicking it.
Don't do it.
So, Race, the lesson is that you can get away with manipulating other people and making their lives hell as long as you make them think you're their friend first.
I'm just saying that pizza would have made this whole situation go away. They all would
How
have
about
been
a hot
just fine.
dog with a lot of cheese?
Yes.
So far, so good. Yeah. I think we're going to jump into another spoiler thing. Unless anyone has anything else to add to this.
I think
No.
I've said what I've.
All right.
I did appreciate the concept of trying to see things from the other person's perspective,
Yeah.
such as reading someone else's favorite book.
I love the fact that neither of them did it.
Yeah. And then they keep
and
giving
then
each
bitch
other
each other
flack
for
for it.
Yeah.
One
Anyway.
second, let me help you out here.
No. Duck.
Can they see that live?
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, DuckTales spoilers is being typed in.
Okay. It'll say something else for a real hot second.
Oh, hi.
Woo!
Wait, can I?
And
how
now
do I
everyone
do
can
a
tell what the
background?
later stream is.
Oh shit. Hold on. I'm gonna delete this link. There it is. Deleted. Okay. I don't know why people are allowed to put links in. I thought I'd turned that off, but
Wow.
deleted. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know how to do a. Okay, there we go. It'll just have to be hard to read. Okay.
DuckTales, woo. All right. So, again, we are going to discuss DuckTales and its first season. So, for those that don't want spoilers, wait until you just mute it and wait until the screen goes away because we don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
Yeah.
But I still can't believe that they killed off one of the brothers. Like,
I know, right?
Like-
that was so shocking though. I was like, oh my god, they killed him. Like,
yeah. But at the same time, I love it because it's like, wow, they're willing to go anywhere and everywhere. With
Yeah,
us.
I know. That's my favorite part about like killing off. I know this sounds terrible. Like, when you kill off like a little kid, it makes you feel like, wow, this show's willing to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
They're
one,
gonna
it's
give me
one way
the-
to save on the animation budget.
They're gonna give me the real story with no like bull.
Right. And you know what the worst part is I don't even remember which brother it was.
It's Huey.
Was it Huey?
Who's
Yeah.
Huey?
Hubert.
It's the red one. Yeah, Hubert. Yeah.
Sarah,
Are y'all-
so we're so
Are
good
y'all
at this.
bullshitting,
We're
or-
so good at this
Okay,
that
you're
Sarah leans next to me and she's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, she's like, I must have missed something.
I missed like the first part of this conversation. If I had,
Were you thinking you
I
missed
probably
an
would've-
episode?
No. I don't know. Who are y'all? Like, I thought y'all were talking about a character that like did kind of potentially sort of, but
Well, we have the spoiler screen up now. If
Yeah.
anyone's still here, then they're willing to hear
yeah, man.
that,
If you don't want spoilers, you
that-
might want to duck out for
that Duck Mom is a duck.
No pun intended.
That
So,
was intended.
it.
so wait, so who's their dad?
I don't know.
I thought, okay,
Okay.
so can I be honest for a second?
Mhm.
I
would hope
legit.
to be honest all the time. Go ahead.
I went about 75% of the season with the miss. I kind of forgot how things were structured in this family and thought Donald was their dad and that
he's the father figure, but
that the girl duck was his wife. And then it wasn't until they called him Uncle Donald in the last episode where I went, oh shit.
That's so weird though, because it's like, oh, Donald didn't end up with Daisy, huh?
Where the hell is Daisy? Speaking of,
I don't know. She might show up at some point in season 2. Like they've got a lot of
they got a lot of stuff
planned in season 2.
If they're just gonna reference stuff like willy nilly like they are, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They have so much Disney they can work with.
Yeah.
Saber was saying that he was hoping that Daisy shows up in the next season.
Yeah.
I hope Daisy shows up and fights. That'd be so rad.
Yeah.
So, I guess just kind of an overview of it all. What did you guys think of season 1 of DuckTales redo?
Literally.
Fucking good.
I think maybe I like it the most out of everyone here. Maybe. Because it's my third favorite animated show of the 2010s so far.
What are the first two?
Okay, I mean,
that
BoJack BoJack and Korra.
Oh, okay.
Wait, where's My Little Pony?
Number 5.
Number 5, that's still decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this show has been stellar from day one. It's so good. I enjoy it quite a bit.
The only thing that bothers me about this show is they just didn't get the voices right. As seen in the last episode of the season, like, what happened?
What happened to
Donald
voice?
died. That was amazing. I love what I love.
Is that what the actual current voice of Donald actually sounds like?
No.
No, it's just a.
No, it was.
That was Don Cheadle. He's like, he's from the Marvel movies. He's
Wait, what?
War Machine.
Wait, Don Cheadle is actually voicing what?
Yeah.
Don Cheadle is the voice of Donald Duck.
He was the voice of Donald Duck in the finale.
You didn't know
I
that?
said, is this the Don Cheadle episode? I wasn't like pulling your shit. I was really like.
I love. No, I absolutely adore they have like that perfect mix of, you know, the adventure, the story, and the humor. Like, they're so, like, it doesn't feel forced the way that they put a lot of this humor in.
Yeah.
And that's so good. Like, I love it. Earlier when we were just starting this podcast, Hirosashii even said, "You really are Launchpad." And I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds like a conversation that's already been had, and apparently people said, yeah, he's Launchpad, which I'm okay with. I love Launchpad.
Is that meant as a compliment or as an insult?
It's a statement.
It's an observation.
Oh no,
What's
they're not
insult?
stickers. Adults call them decals.
I love that joke so much. No, because what was it? Oh no, it's gone. Oh yeah, no. What was it? The Gizmo Duck episode, which first of all is a fascinating superhero story. I love that.
Yeah.
But Mark Beeks, like, we're talking about the modern humor, which I usually really hate. I usually really do. Mark Beeks is like, right now you're a bad meme. I want to make you a good meme. I laughed. I was like, oh my god, what is this show doing? How does this show make me like things I hate?
Yeah. Mark Beeks is pretty great as far as
He's so good.
Yeah. I love the bit where he dropped his phone and he's like he jumped off the building for it, and there's Ave Maria playing in the background.
No, it's great. So who's your favorite character?
Oh shit.
That's impossible.
Because I will go out and say that mine is Launchpad.
I changed in the past month, legitimately.
I mean, Launchpad is good, but for me, the fact that Scrooge is voiced by David Tennant just makes it all.
That sounds like bias.
David Tennant is bias worthy, okay?
Fine.
As if you watch Doctor Who, then
Yeah.
He just makes the character so much better.
I'm impressed because the voice work. Like, because I remember when they announced who's voicing who, and I was like, oh, I hope that's not just a. Oh, look, we have David
A
Tennant.
celebrity insert, yeah.
But oh my
Yeah,
God,
like,
is
he has
his?
like a very distinct Scottish voice. So
It's very good.
Yeah.
So who was your favorite then, Hero?
my favorite was Launchpad, and I still love Launchpad to death. And like backing him up like so closely was Webby, but out of nowhere, I love Dewey, man. Dewey is the best character in that entire show.
I like that you can separate personalities now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a really good job of, like, giving the boys different personalities. Very, like, so not only can you, like, tell them, like, you can tell them apart, like, character design-wise now, other than by color. and then also now from, like, a character point of view. Like, I feel like in the old one, they were still kind of, similar in their interests and stuff.
See, I feel I was just gonna say, I feel like when you can only tell people apart by their color, like that's racism.
Ah, yes. There's just something about like
That's where you judge them.
I feel like Dewey. I don't know how to say this without sounding like gushing over the series or anything, but I feel like he really did just have like the most personality. Like he had things he was embarrassed about. He had things that he was confident about. Like he just had like so many dimensions to his character, and like not to rag on the other characters because all like brilliantly done. But Huey, it was pretty obvious the kind of character Huey was. He's like, I'm the Boy Scout, want my badge, can spout off information, I'm smart. But like with Dewey, it's kind of like a toss up. It's like, are you confident? Are you insecure? I don't know. He felt the realist to me, and I always love believable characters. That's like my number one thing in cartoons. So yeah, Dewey.
Race just leaned over to me. He's like, "Which color is Dewey?"
Isn't he the green one?
No, he's the blue one.
My point exactly.
Dewdrops are blue.
Yes.
Okay, and then
Luigi is green.
Okay, Huey.
Therefore, Louis.
Huey is what color?
He's red.
It would be red by that
Hue-
Which I remember Huey
red
because
hue.
red is like
You
one of the
can't
most
do that.
brilliant hues. So that's
There
how I
you go.
remember Huey. And then Dewey is the blue one, and then Louis is just the one left over. Or Luigi! You think of Luigi, and you think of Luigi, you think of green.
Yes.
Louis is
There you
Luigi.
go.
I will never forget this moment, guys.
I always think of Huey because I just think like Huey's the first one in like the way that you say their names, and he's the red one, and red comes first. And yep.
You know, whatever works.
Saber's gonna be so pissed when he finds out we talked about DuckTales without him, by the way.
Got him. He really likes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's his fault.
So about the finale, do we want to talk specifically about the finale?
we
Yeah.
can. I mean, that's what the spoiler screen's for.
Don't back
Magic
down.
the spell.
I
Her design
so
is
did like girl die?
Lena?
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
No, she was
was-
never alive.
she was never alive. She was never a real person. She was a part of Magica Dispel, but it
She was
seems that
she was
part of her-
OC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Magica
She was
Dispel's
OC,
OC,
yeah.
original character. Do not steal.
That rebelled.
But it seems like she's living on in Webby Shadow. Yeah.
But that's such
I
a
was still a little sad because I like Lena a lot.
Yeah.
yeah. It's weird because like I got the impression that like she was just a trapped child, I guess.
Yeah.
And then because she kind of like from my recollection, some of her interactions there near the end was like no, like let me go type of thing.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh no, like no.
Yeah, like she has her own agency and stuff, like, which makes it even more sad because it's just like she really doesn't want to be what she is, but unfortunately that's the reality of it. But I hope that she appears in season 2 as far as just like
Of course,
along
yeah.
with Webby and stuff like that.
I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
The girls in this show are super BA. As it's
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, I was like, Webby can fight, man! Oh my god!
I loved when she just punched like
Magic?
that. Yeah, just punched her in the face. I was like, shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, Donald gets some points for this episode.
Yeah.
Well, I say some. He gets like a lot. Like us. I am the storm.
Yeah. Seriously, have you been saying stuff like this the whole time?
I think the shining moment for me for Donald was when he went to go into crazy mode, but he still had his regular voice, and he's just like rah 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 rah.
It was great.
That was so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked Magic of the Spell's design a lot. When she
Yeah,
busts
it was
out
really
the
good.
Nicola, or the dime, excuse me, I was like, yeah, boy.
Needless to say, that is a duck that I want to
And I love her
formalize
banter
the conversation with.
too.
Yes.
The banter that the spell has is like great.
Yeah.
What was it when she's shooting her? Paleo really likes that part.
Yeah,
when
it
she's
was like
shooting her spells.
4 home run tennis thing. Tennis thing. That got me.
No, it was fun. It was good.
She just has a hard time with love.
There you go.
Yeah, and so of course the whole season led up to the end.
Yeah, Della appears on the moon.
Donald's wife.
No, Donald's sister.
Both.
Donald's sister-in-law.
Yeah, and when they pan up to the moon, you hear the moon theme from the DuckTales.
When
NES game.
the moon hits the sky like a big pizza pie. My name is John Dacre.
Wait, is Della Donald's sister or sister-in-law? That's sister?
I think just straight up sister.
Just sister? Okay.
Yeah.
Then who's Donald's mother?
Hortense.
Someone who's dead, probably.
What?
I think is her name Hortense.
Who would
Duck?
name their daughter Hortense?
I don't know.
That is...
The comic book writer that wrote DuckTales.
I got a sweet name for you, Hortense.
Oh, really quickly. Since
Hortense, here's a who,
Or
sorry.
is that?
What tense is a whore?
Mm.
Past, present, future?
I can look up.
No, not a
I
future.
can look up the
Not
Duck
future.
family tree.
Sorry, Hero, you were saying something?
Oh, yeah, the episode before, like episode 22, because there's only 23 episodes, I had to leave. I was like, Paleo, I think I'm gonna cry. And then I left. I was like, oh shit, I'm crying.
Oh.
I don't, again, I really think it's just something about family and animated works. When it goes really well or really poorly, I just like cannot handle it for some reason. And like just watching Scrooge's flashback to like him trying to save Della, I was like, I can't do it.
So I was honestly like when I loved when God, what's the nanny's name?
Beatrix, why am I forgetting her name? Wow.
Whoa!
Agent 12 or something.
22.
Beakley.
Oh, you wanted like her real name?
I don't know.
Mrs.
But
Beakley.
Mrs. Beakley. When I loved when she's like, I forget the exact line, but it was basically like, nobody can guilt like a grandmother or something. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I loved it though. And at the same time, I'm like, why didn't you bring this up when it all started to go to shit?
Yeah, so Donald's parents are Hortense McDuck and Quagmire Duck.
How can you read that?
Yes.
Hortense.
One more thing, Saber loves this line, and I love it too. When they were visiting Scrooge's parents, and he brought Launchpad in place of
Yeah.
Donald,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"This is Donald," and he's like, "What did he say, Pinocchio?"
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I do like that Launchpad actually did get the gist that he needed to like act angry in order to convince the parents that he was actually Donald.
It was really just him saying quack, but like
Yeah, quack.
quack.
Yeah. No, it was great. They did such a good job with this, and honestly, like, I know I am beating the same drum here, but I would. This just makes me that much more like I'm so excited that this is having the success it is because I'm hoping that it opens up doors in the future.
Yeah.
Because
Chippendale,
I want the frickin' Chippendale reboot, and it's like literally just same style, just frickin' do what you're doing here, and do it there. Like it. I mean, that's
seriously with as adventurous as they've taken DuckTales. Think what they could do with an actual detective mystery.
right, and it's same element because it's different. Like it's small animals in the human world dealing with all that stuff, and it's just man, I need them to confirm that Chip and Gadget get married.
What if Dale and Gadget get married?
They're gonna.
They all get married.
They're just one big marriage. Monterey Jack's gonna marry Zipper.
Wait, Matt, are you a Chippendale person? I don't know what you got. Do you have like a fandom name?
We do, but I don't
ALX?
personally like it.
She doesn't like it because of the end name, but we're.
There's a name
The name
for it?
they've appointed for themselves is called Ranger
I'm not
File.
sure I want to hear it.
Oh, that's a little
Ranger File.
Yeah.
I don't
sounds
know
lovely.
about that.
Yeah, I don't like it, so I don't use it. So I'm just like, yeah, I like Chippendale.
Yeah, it does
Yeah,
sound
I
good.
feel-
Yeah.
I was calling
Code
myself that
files.
for years, and now you're telling me how bad it was.
I'm
I was
sure
about to stand up in front of
I'm pretty
our-
sure we've already had this conversation.
I'm
where
gonna
I'm like, it sounds fucking weird.
I'm gonna stand up in front of our wedding.
Sarah, you
mean-
very
I
interesting.
mean, like,
choice of
how
words.
would it sound if we called ourselves instead of bronies
Pony
Pony
Files?
File.
That's
What the fuck?
Like,
Like,
That's even
honestly,
closer
you
to,
shouldn't
like,
put
pedophile.
file at the end of everything.
no, that's
like
closer to
anything. It just
bestiality.
Well, wait. Now I wanna look because like there's
like definition wise, it has merit, but it sounds weird.
well, it's because
It
we're all
sounds
thinking of the
bad.
same thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's what everyone else will think of. So it sounds bad.
But like, what about people who are like,
I
Open-minded.
think
I don't know. I'm trying to even think.
No.
I forget how
Yeah.
to do. I forget how to do internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it. BW says, don't forget about Foxglove and Dale.
Yeah.
Foxglove was a prominent character,
Okay. So file.
denoting fondness for a specified thing.
That it's mean. like,
Remember
combining form.
that when they started calling, like the fandom declared Ranger File, it was back in like the late 90s.
Well,
there
okay,
were-
so the word pedophile still existed then.
Yeah, but I remember Penn and Teller, if I remember right, they had a show called Phobophilia,
Oh dear.
which was the love of fear, which was basically the description of their magic
I
jacket.
don't think any of this matters. What matters is right now that sounds mega
Yeah.
weird.
These are all bad. Like,
File is still part of other words, like cinephile means like you love the movies.
Yeah. It just I don't know. It
I
just-
just
what
thought
the
it
hell
was
is
sick.
homophile?
You love yourself.
I'm curious.
Relating
wait, so
to
Matt,
homosexual?
It just is a
are you
homosexual
a-
man or woman.
Weird.
are you a Chippendale person? I don't
Okay,
even
let's,
know.
let's go.
No, anyways.
I enjoyed the show. I actually credit the fact that I know Race and Sarah to getting bored one day in law school and just looking up stuff on YouTube and found an old episode of the show.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, we met
Yeah.
on the Acorn Cafe.
Okay.
Funny enough.
Zarkrin in the chat says, I remember Biblio or I think it's
Bibliophile.
I think it might be Bibliophile. I
It's
don't know. Was used as an insult in
Bibliophile.
Arthur.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're such
It must be cool
You know how
to
to
be like
read.
able to go on the internet and meet people in your state,
Yeah.
because a lot of them are in California.
Yeah.
No, I will say that.
Honestly, the first person I met from there was actually from Washington. Yeah.
Shoot.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. So
Nostalgia.
are we
Moving
done
on.
talking about DuckTales and the spoilers?
Yep.
I mean,
Okay.
we
Now we're talking about Ranger Files.
No, stop. Let's just drop that whole.
Well, then
conversation.
give us another name for it.
Duck Space Tales.
No, I meant for Rescue Ranger fans.
Duck tits.
Ranger fans? I don't know.
Ranger
Well,
fans?
that might be for the baseball team. I don't know.
Ranger fans?
Well,
How about?
okay. So when Chippendale reboot airs, it'll be taken care of for us. And it'll probably
Will
be.
it?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there will be a new fan.
I still like calling myself, as a fan of the Steven Universe show, a gentleman.
Ugh.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Wow.
It's also hard to say.
There it is.
Gentleman con.
Okay. So
Yes.
do we want to go to Q&A since we're running? We were already running late.
Yeah,
on
let's
this
do
show?
Q&A.
I mean, we might as well.
All
Wait,
right.
I know what the Steven Universe fans are called.
I like the desktop
What?
there, Sarah.
It's gonna make people
Losers!
Oh!
Yes,
Oh! I love how there was like a rivalry between bronies.
I know.
All right, so if you've got a question for us, go over to Twitter and use the hashtag SPP questions, plural questions, SPP questions.
Oh my
That
god.
was the most enunciated sentence ever.
Question.
Well, I mean,
No, you
yeah,
said go over to
sure.
Twitter. I was like, dang, you said every letter in that word. Dang.
Twitter.
I say TWIDDER.
Twitter.
Twid.
Yeah.
Chance.
Alrighty, let's see. August 8th.
All right,
1
I
hour
got this.
ago.
All right.
Twitter
The
page.
first question is important. Railroad Bronies wants to know Sharknado or Zootopia.
Zootopia.
Ooh.
Obviously, Sharknado.
Y'all
Depends on
can
how much I've
go
had to drink.
to hell.
I've yet to see Sharknado 6, but probably Zootopia.
Wait, you've seen more than...
I've seen
What?
all.
You've seen
I have
one?
seen the first 5. Hold on. You're bagging on Sharknado and you've not even seen a full one of it?
No.
Boy.
I'm bagging on it.
It
Zootopia!
is amazingly bad. It is a fad that should never have existed, but is magnificent for that it has.
All right.
And yeah,
Ozyal
they
is
just aired the
asking
6th one.
thoughts on the Oscars creating a new category called Best Popular Film.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
don't like
weird.
it.
Yeah, like...
Literally because
Like,
the Oscars was created as a way to appreciate movies as art, and now it became a popularity contest. Yeah, that seems a little disingenuous.
Well, it's already a popularity contest.
I know, but they slapped it in your face. Like now
Yeah,
it
and-
really is.
You know what's funny about they were doing an interview and they were saying that oh yeah, this category is for movies that connect with people. I was like, oh, so you mean the Best Picture winners don't connect with people?
I don't know. I really can't connect with having sex with a fish. I really can't connect.
Well, Paleo, on the other hand.
Maybe I'm in the minority here. I don't know.
Yeah, I
no, I
honestly
think
don't.
No, I think... yeah,
I'm gonna say that I don't think a lot of people have had sex with a fish, but you know.
Paleo.
You don't know people's lives.
What?
Let's see here. Ozyal has another question. So this week, for those that don't know, there was passing of Stephen Carl. He was Robbie Rotten on Lazytown, and he passed away. Ozyal was just asking thoughts on the passing of Stephen Carl.
I mean, it's sad. It was one of those things where, he had he had influenced so many people, with his acting, and everybody was really rooting for him, and it's just, it's sad when someone loses a long fight to cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had apparently it was treated and then it came back more aggressive, and at that point it was inoperable. So.
Yeah, no, I did any of you guys watch Lazytown?
I've watched.
No, it came on a bit after my time, but then I started seeing it part of YouTube poops and junk, which it was pretty hilarious. So, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, no, the only thing
I didn't watch it because it was a bit after my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I knew of it was the We Are Number
Number
One.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Moving on to another person. Waddles is asking, did you know that
Name.
Ben Schwartz have blue characters Dewey from DuckTales reboot, Leonardo from TMNT, and now he's playing Sonic the Hedgehog in the upcoming movie.
Yeah,
the voice actor.
He's playing exclusively blue-themed characters.
If he was green, he would die.
Speaking of TMNT, I very much enjoyed the first episode of the reboot that they're doing. I know a lot of people might not be a fan of it because, like, I think they like the more serious route, and this is very much comedy-based. But I enjoy it. And these are the best designs they've ever had. I was so tired of having them look exactly the same, and they kind of improved it in the last iteration where they kind of looked different enough, but then they like decided to go whole hog on this reboot, and I love it. They look different, and I love it.
That's very nice. I think it's the best looking one, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Ozzy All's asking, to Race and Sarah, did you always go to Mexican food or Taco Bell?
Mexican food?
Well said. Sarah doesn't eat at Taco Bell.
Yeah, I don't eat much anywhere out except for places that can do gluten-free.
But man, do I miss on Tuesday
El
nights
Torito.
going to El Torito and getting...
Oh yeah.
Oh man, because I loved the chips. I loved the salsa. I loved the tacos. I loved the meat. Sarah was able to eat it too, and then they went and said, well, what if we put dairy and gluten in the tortillas? It's perfect.
Yeah, they put fucking cheese in the tortillas. Like, what the hell?
But it's like not noticeable. Like, it's not like, oh, this is like, wow. Like, it's not like cheesy gordita, wow. It's like, no, there's like infused cheese. Like, you know, like when you get like water that's infused with stuff, and you're like, okay, so it's like water with like an annoying taste of something. Like, yeah.
Let's alienate people with dairy allergies.
It sucks. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
And then
I really do hate water with like an annoying tinge of some flavor. It's like really frustrating, actually.
The infused water?
Yeah.
It's wrong. Like, I honestly think they infuse water. I'm telling you now, I think they infuse water just so less people drink it. They're like, oh, we have it.
You sounded so that was like genuine like offensive. Like it's wrong.
It's wrong. It is.
Wait,
infused water's like when you go like you're in a
when
hotel
there's like
lobby.
a tub of things and there's like fucking cucumbers in there.
Yeah.
That's fucking gross.
Right?
Stop doing it.
It's not good.
I don't want cucumber water.
or orange, slight taste of orange water.
Yeah, like
I'm
watered down
It
orange
really just
juice
makes
like
it
to
taste
the nth
worse.
degree.
Yeah, no, I'm like,
I do appreciate having my water unadulterated by fruit or vegetable.
Yeah, it's freaking
yeah,
gross.
just water. Like that's why I appreciate conventions, just having water. It's like, thank you. Do you know this next question?
Water, too.
Which one? This one?
No, the very bottom.
That being
you
said,
know what
of
this
the
is
ones,
in reference
to?
cucumber water is actually not bad.
That's not spoilers though. So Waddles asks, what was your first impressions on Disenchantment from Matt Groening? I have not watched it, but I will. Has anyone else watched Disenchantment?
Yeah,
I
they
have
did
not.
it.
Yeah, I watched it. I see a
video
lot
out
of
about it?
people seem to be kind of disappointed with it.
yeah?
I mean, I thought it was good. It has like a very interesting ending to it. So, but as far as like Matt Groening shows, like you can definitely feel it has some of the same kind of I guess humor as like The Simpsons or Futurama, though more so Futurama.
Yeah.
But that may just be because there's a lot of the same voice actors from Futurama on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think people were just expecting it to be a lot funnier than it is, because honestly, I didn't really laugh out loud at all while watching the show. I mean, there's some things that are like, that's kind of funny, but it's not like what's like I guess an exaggerated way of laughing. Trying to make an example here. Anyway. Yeah, but we'll see how it goes, because sometimes the first season is just like kind of but it seems like the second season might have some pretty interesting things going on.
Cool.
So
All right.
Yeah.
Ozzy, I'll ask, what would happen if Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers made an appearance on DuckTales?
I'd like it.
Okay.
I'd be
So-
curious
I'd like
to
it, but
see
I'd also hate it because I feel like it'd be a sign that we wouldn't get a reboot show
Okay, so
because they don't belong in that world.
Okay, so a kid asked on a DuckTales panel when a Chip and Dale reboot was coming, and one of the writers for DuckTales said, well, you know, there are some things hidden in the background that people have not yet seen. And I'm just like, that's an interesting thing for you to say to this specific question. So,
Yes.
like, now I gotta, like, rewatch DuckTales and, like, with a magnifying glass and be like, where are they?
But that also doesn't answer the question
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
The
well, I
answer
mean,
should have been...
If it's being developed, he probably can't say anything.
Oh.
Like,
so
he can't
there's
say
hope.
yes or no, so.
Well, he could say, I can't say, to which then we go, that means yes. Jazz King has an interesting question. Says, just arrived at the Philippines. It's really hot and my butt never felt so sore. What do you guys do when it's really hot out? Well, Jazz King,
Uh-oh.
I'd love to know why your butt is sore.
Maybe the airplane seat was
Sore?
not comfortable?
Sore.
I don't know.
As he was soaring across the sky.
Wow.
Ah.
Wow. What do we do? I love to not do anything, actually.
Just stay inside in the air conditioning and drink a glass of
as
water.
little as possible.
Have that fan going.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I don't
like,
enjoy
going
heat.
Sudoku. I like doing I like reading newspapers and doing like puzzles on the newspaper when it's hot. I don't know.
You still only use newspapers?
I mean,
Yeah.
when I was at my parents' house, I don't get the newspaper anymore though. So
Dude, I am all about the tactile sensation of reading.
it's I actually really don't like reading on computer screens. It hurts my eyes after a while.
Yeah.
I'd rather just have something tactile in front of me.
Yes.
Nora says, random thought, if you had a pet bunny, what would you name it? And don't say Judy.
What would you
Well,
name it?
if I had a pet bunny,
I would either name it Roger or Harvey.
Harvey.
why Harvey? Who's Harvey?
Based on a movie that has like a guy with like an imaginary rabbit character that, like, they made a joke about Harvey in Roger Rabbit, and like the guy, because the guy was like, I won't explain it, but it's a rabbit.
I'm so interested.
No, it's the name of a rabbit character in a movie called Harvey, and like it's like a weird
I would just-
imaginary rabbit. Hold on, let me look it up.
I would just call the bunny Hops.
Harvey.
Take that, Nora.
Wow.
Take that.
I would call mine Stu.
Well, if it's a
Mine
boy,
is
I would
Hops.
call it Nick. And be like, hi.
Or possibly Hassenpfeffer. It's a good name for a rabbit.
Hassenpfeffer.
Yeah.
Harvey. That's not a rabbit. That's like a
No, it's a rabbit. It's got
Boogeyman.
ears right there.
boogeyman.
Damn it.
Damn it.
No. Harvey is a 1950 American
call
comedy drama film, starring James Stewart. Story is about a man whose best
Why did
friend
you
is a puka named Harvey in the form of a 6 foot, 3.5 inch tall invisible rabbit.
Well, how do they know it's a rabbit if it's
Why-
invisible?
Well,
Why'd you
he
do like
knows
a tap dance in the
knows
middle of that explanation?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would name it Nick if it's a boy and Hops if it's a girl. Or if I wasn't allowed to do anything like that, I would name it Bonnie. And then when it has a kid, then I'm gonna name the kid Judy. Take that.
Mhm.
I win.
I name it Max.
Oziel.
Okay.
Oziel wants to know what's your favorite documentary?
I don't.
Dirty
Blue
Jobs.
Planet.
I'm
I
gonna
really
say
don't watch a lot of documentaries.
the one that Paleo and Saberspark made.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Has
brown
the third
those.
part of that ever come out?
The whole thing came out,
Oh.
but it was only 2 parts. That's right.
Never mind.
Matt makes an appearance in that.
I do?
Yeah, you're in the documentary. You didn't know that?
I am.
Yes.
Yeah, the little skit that you guys filmed.
I remember specifically whatever Brony account it was, but it was like with the John Delancey one.
Hey,
I
Paleo,
remember
let me know where I can
specifically
find
seeing a
this thing. I need
camera
to see it.
and dodging it out of frame because like the camera was swiping towards me. I was like, oh, that's the Brony documentary.
It was so weird.
Run away!
It was so weird sitting in the audience. Like, this is where the fun part about, like, as the fandom matures, there's more stories that just have not been told. And, like, because
I'm sorry, what about this entire assemblage makes you think any of us have matured?
No, I'm talking about the fandom, not saying any of us in the fandom. But...
I'm matured, excuse you. I visit the Weenie Hut now, thank you.
Senior.
I remember sitting in the audience and just being like, wow, this is weird, because there was kind of a rivalry, it felt like, between Saber and Paleo's documentary and the John Delancey one. So,
Yeah,
It was.
yeah. Paleo, do you remember that?
yeah, I do.
Like it's, I loved it though. It was like a freaking Western where it was like, all right, you pull first and we'll see what you got.
Oh, you got literally nothing. Well, we don't even need the pull then. This documentary is much better.
I agree. Reckless says, what would happen if Pinkie Pie got to a sugar sack?
Exactly what you would expect. She would go on a sugar rush.
That scene,
like probably fly up to the moon.
that scene from Over the Hedge.
Yeah. How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon?
3.5.
1, 2, 3.
Here's a question I can't answer, so I'll let you take it.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is from Rosie Diamond. Who is better, Lena from DuckTales or Tara from Teen Titans? Lena!
Ooh, yeah! Oh, was that a Sarah only, or like was that open?
No, that was everyone.
That was
Everyone.
everybody.
Oh well, Lena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw like a thread on Twitter recently that was like, who would win, Tara or Toph? And like everybody's
Right,
like,
yeah, I
Toph
love
would
that.
like kill that bitch.
Destroy her.
Destroy her. But yeah, no, yeah, Lena, definitely. Where's the question that we're
Who
going
would
to?
win, Toph or Tommy
it's
Pickles?
this
Like,
one.
what?
And then she'd put on some sunglasses.
Okay. Does anybody else have a
Because,
answer
you
for
know,
that question?
blind.
I'm gonna say Tara.
Okay.
Who's Tara?
Did you watch
She's from
Teen
Teen
Titans?
Titans.
Okay.
No. Norris Brony.
Norris Bernie asks, is anyone looking forward to the new Red Dead Redemption game? I am, because I actually played and finished Red Dead Redemption, the first one. So now I'm like, oh, I'm ready for like an updated version of this game.
Love the concept. Would like to see it.
Yes.
Oh, let's
I'm
see.
excited for Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. That one
I
looks
like
fun.
that Slender Man. I was like, what?
No.
I'm looking ahead at some
that's
questions.
Who
Yeah?
would win? Spider-Man versus Slender Man?
I don't know enough about either of those characters to answer that.
I
That's
would
what
want to
makes
say
the discussion
Spider-Man.
lively.
I would want to say Spider-Man, but I don't know enough about Slender Man and what he do.
Yeah, me either. And he's
Is he?
There you go.
Is he? There you go. I guess Monster can be men. That's all. A song or something.
Yeah.
What next?
Sound. All right.
Billy?
I think our internet's taking a shit right
Oh.
I
think it's clear.
Have fun, hero.
What's the next question?
now. All right, for everyone. Favorite hippogriff.
Skystar.
The one from Harry Potter.
Ooh.
Oh,
Princess Skystar, I guess.
There we go. Buckbeak.
yes, Princess Skystar, because she is voiced by
Kristen Chenoweth.
who is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. We're on the last few questions here. We're going to actually end potentially a little earlier or on time.
Shocking.
Waddle's asking, are you excited or sad that the Adventure Time finale will be airing in 2 weeks?
Both?
Oh, yeah, that was something I was going to bring up. Yeah, it's airing in 2 weeks. And I have like a big video I have planned coming out next week about Adventure Time. I'm going to have it out on Thursday, probably.
Where might they find
next
this video?
Thursday.
I was gonna say tomorrow.
Yeah, no, not tomorrow. Next Thursday. But yeah, apparently Cartoon Network's doing like an all-day marathon of Adventure Time, which I was surprised by. I was like, "Wow, you care?"
Yeah, they're paying attention to this show.
Yeah, because they didn't do that for a regular show when that finale aired last year.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
But
regular show didn't really revive their entire channel.
Yeah, well, regular show helped a lot because it helped with Adventure Time because they aired around the same time. But yeah, I'm sad, but I'm also like, I'm glad it became like such a big thing for the network, and it became like a really big deal for it, because before it came out, I really saw the potential of it when I saw the pilot. This is good, and it's a good thing it was good. But I think it's definitely going to live on a ton of like content from the show that is like lived on. It has like books and games and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good finale. Like it's like an hour-long special. So just like the DuckTales finale was, this is an hour-long special for the finale of the entire show. So it's going to be good. I can't wait.
Now I'm thinking about how hard Pony finale season 9 is
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
hit us. That's gonna hit hard.
You've
I feel like it's done,
come
man.
such a long,
You can't do it! You can't do it!
God, I want you since that very first day.
I know the words, actually. Yeah, that's past season 2, so I don't know none of those words.
They know the words.
Something,
and
something.
But I know all the movie lyrics because those songs are real good.
I have that song on my iPod. True story. All right, last
a sad song like that, I'm gonna be crying.
last
Don't
two.
worry.
This is the final two questions of the podcast for everyone. What would happen if a changeling found its way into the Equestria Girl world?
The soldier is a spy.
It's literally a doppelganger.
Yeah, I just imagine Spy from TF2.
It's just gonna be a person that everyone walks up to and goes, "Do I know you?" And they just keep saying, "I'm sorry, I just have one of those faces."
I just wonder what they would look like if they went through the portal without changing.
Yeah.
Shadowy, yet to take form doppelganger.
They would look like
They look like one of those neighborhood watch things.
Yeah.
they look. I used to always think that those were a reference to Batman, the cartoon.
That's great.
I was like, cool, Batman.
Batman's watching over the neighborhood.
We're good, guys. Like, that just, for some reason, just jarred my memory. That's as a kid, I just accepted it. I didn't even think about it. I was like, okay, that makes sense. All right, this is it. Brian Walmer has a question. I'm going to chop it a little bit here to... How would you do a CDRR, Chippendale Rescue Ranger reboot? Exactly how they're doing the DuckTales one.
Yeah, basically. Like,
Well,
just hire the same people that are doing the DuckTales and have.
Would you
them
bring
do-
back Tad Stones?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and the
Consultant.
voice actors and actresses.
If they
If you
are
can get
able.
Yeah.
And you can get them, Sure.
Jim Cummings is still doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
And what about
Tress MacNeille, she's still doing stuff.
Yeah.
She still does Daisy.
What about Corey Burton?
In Disenchantment.
Oh, she's in Disenchantment? Oh, I didn't know that. But yeah, I mean, the voice actors,
did a lot of stuff for,
they're all doing, like,
What about Corey Burton?
Corey Burton, maybe. I don't know. I haven't heard Corey Burton's name in a while.
Dale.
Well, yeah, I know.
Oh.
But I haven't, like, seen him around, like, as
Oh.
far as in the acting scene. He's probably done stuff recently, but, like, I just have not kept up with that. But I know Jim Cummings and Tress MacNeille are still doing work because...
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
What?
Does Corey Burton do the voice of Dale in the Mickey and the Roadster Racers?
Maybe.
Let me see. I'm an old
Is
book.
Is that how it goes?
Really catchy. Yeah.
There's this. Okay, so Sarah opened up this thing, and Bloomberg has this thing that says the discount airline model is coming for Europe's railways, and the picture of it looks like it's two very pissed off trains at each other. To which I'm like, what episode of Thomas the Tank Engine is this? All right, Sarah's looking it up. She's scrolling down. Tress MacNeille, Jim Cummings,
Yep,
and Corey Burton.
Corey Burton's still doing Dale's voice.
Still.
Yeah, so I mean, they
All right.
could, they could go the route of hiring the old voice actors, or they could hire new ones. Who knows?
Did you know that Corey Burton was in Atlantis?
He was Mole. Mole, yeah.
He was also in the Transformers movie and Hercules.
Oh, here's a question regarding Chip and Dale. Do you think people would be upset if Chip and Dale's voices didn't sound like the originals, as in they didn't have like the high pitch?
Ooh, Sarah, what do you think?
I think
What if it sounded like dumb people?
I feel like people would be like, well, what the heck? Because that's literally how their voices have been, like, the whole time, like, since Inception. Like, even in the old classic shorts, their voices have always been pitched upwards. So I think, people would probably be upset about it. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I
in the
don't know if I
originals,
would
you
be
can
upset about it, though.
I don't
If
know.
they got a good voice actor that's, like, that they sounded like they matched the characters, I would not be upset about them not being high pitched.
Yeah. Well, it's like DuckTales, like with the
Huey
boys.
doing,
everyone was like, "What? They don't sound like they're."
That's what I was asking.
And now
since,
we're good
Huey,
with
Dewey,
them.
and Louie like all sound very different.
I love, by the way, that they still make fun of how nobody can understand Donald. Like,
Yeah.
it's at the point where I'm pretty sure they're making it worse.
I'm sure that was just like, I don't know what he said at that point. And when I don't know what that he says, I'm like, I feel like they just had him say some nonsense.
I love it though. It's great. Cool. So, anything else anyone wants to add? Good. That's it, guys. Thank you for coming out to the Semi Perfect Podcast. We will be back here in 2 weeks. Sarah, when's that?
I don't know. I don't have a calendar in
If you
front of
click
me.
down there, so you watch this. This is why
There?
Macs suck. No!
I don't know how
You're doing it
things
wrong.
work.
There you go.
That's the 5th of...
The 5th of September.
5th of September.
Remember the 5th of September. There you go.
Not quite the gunpowder treason and plot, but I know of September should ever be forgot.
And with that, folks, we'll be back on September 5th. It's a Wednesday. And stay tuned. Keep an eye on our Twitter and whatnot, because like we said, we're going to look into switching over to the YouTube platform. So, yeah, we're probably going to go that.
Brand new platform.
It's brand new, and it's going to be great. Like, they just keep listening to their users and their content creators. It's the future. All right. Well, again,
We'll let you know what's what.
yeah, thank you for coming out. Thanks to the podcasters. Thanks for our live audience and those watching on delay. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a wonderful couple weeks, and bye.
Good
Them
night,
ponies.
everybody.
Bye.